Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cassie Speaks Up. And my name is Cassie, and this is.
Hi. I know what most people know about it because Twitch streamer at the time and then have it Instagram and TikTok, so I didn't think about it. So it's Tsunade. You can call me
Okay.
just V, just the letter V. It's easier.
So there's some people inside of the trans community that believe that they don't have to ever say anything
Ooh, what's gonna happen? Like if the internet is wild, I feel like people just say stuff just to piss off people.
because they feel like they're being tricked or something like that, or
Like
I don't
maybe you
know.
are a little gay, if that's like
Hmm.
your fear. Like, come. I mean, it was like 20 minutes, an hour of your
Hmm.
life. Get over it. Like, you're just asking for like, a big, something bad's gonna happen. Thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe to Cassie. Make sure that you comment. Make sure you like. Everything helps. Help a sister out.
So today we are just going to talk over things, and this is my first time having V on this channel. So hope everyone enjoys having her here.
I hope so too.
Why don't we tell everyone where they can find you on socials?
Okay.
Which platforms?
Foxy Lady Tsunade on Instagram, and then you have all my link there. So you can find all my other social everything over there.
Okay.
Yay.
So, V, today we're going to talk about disclosure when it comes to trans people. How familiar are you with this topic?
Not that much. Like pretty much just what I see online, a little bit from you. Not like it's not something that I know a lot of. I know what most people know about it.
Okay, so you feel like you have an idea of like what most people would say if they weren't like always into like the trans community or researching stuff on the trans community. You feel like you would have like a good kind of like an idea of what the common person would say.
Kind of, yeah. And I feel like
Yeah.
everybody sees that subject with their own eyes, their own experience.
Hmm.
So I just go at it from what I know and I try to just be like, whatever makes people comfortable about it.
Okay. Some arguments, especially when I go into lives on TikTok, where people will make these claims that disclosure is something that is never owed. They don't have to disclose ever. Do you think that is a good idea?
Ever? Like never ever?
Like, don't ever say anything
Like
for
ever.
like years.
No. I don't think that's okay. No, I mean, especially if you get in a romantic thing with your partner. No, I think you should say it for sure. Do you mean just like broadly? Like just like with friends or like co-worker or like partner or all of it? What do you mean?
Any in general, like coming out to anybody, but I specifically am looking more towards like getting into like a relationship with someone, whether that be sexual, whether that just be like starting off, whether or not that be marriage and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So there's some people inside of the trans community that believe that they don't have to ever say anything.
Yeah, no. I think you should, and it's not coming out of a place of hate. It's no, you should. I mean, especially if you're gonna date somebody. Yeah, I mean, like you
Yeah.
should. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Because then you're just, because then it's more like it's a, ooh, what's gonna happen? Like if they find out, like, are they gonna be pissed or sad or feel
Mhm.
any type of way? You're just asking for.
Personally, I don't, for people who make this argument that they never have to disclose ever, even like years down the road, I don't understand how they think that they can keep it a secret that long unless they completely like don't talk to anyone from their past, they don't talk to their family, and
Right.
they are just associated with like the new family. Like, so I don't understand how people can believe that they can keep this a secret.
And what's their reasoning for not saying anything? Why wouldn't they say anything?
Some people feel like they should just be seen as a woman completely, not have to disclose anything like that. It's just pure personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't feel like they have to do it, then they don't have to do it. But when I look at it, I feel like it's a horrible thing to do to not disclose. Like I personally believe that you don't have to disclose right away,
Mm-mm.
but you should definitely do it before you get like sexual and stuff like that, or before you start really talking about like marriage.
Well, yeah.
So yeah. Right?
That's like silly. Like,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Just imagine, okay, you're talking to someone, someone wants kids, for instance. They want biological kids. And they're thinking, oh, I can have biological kids with this person who they don't know is trans, right?
mm.
How is that fair to them? So I feel that if someone says that they don't have to disclose ever, that is extremely selfish.
Oh, it's super selfish. And it's
Hmm.
like anything else, let's not disclose that I have a kid I never see, like why okay, like, maybe you
Yeah.
should. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know. It's personal, but in the same time you're sharing your body with somebody. That's something that you should say, I
Yeah.
think.
I agree with you. And then honestly, a lot of the trans people that I actually talk to in my everyday life
Mm-hmm.
actually say the same thing. But however, when I go on the internet, it's always, they never have to disclose. I'm just like, I don't agree with that.
Well, the internet is wild. I feel like people just say stuff just to piss off people. And then it confuses people because, like, you have people that don't know the subject and they'll just read that and be like, oh, yeah, like,
Hmm.
this is how they are. And it just confuses everybody about the subject when it's like the majority of people, they know better. Like, yeah, maybe you should say it,
Yeah. So to the on the flip side, let's stop talking about just the trans person. Let's look on the flip side. Uh, do you think it's okay for someone to demand that a trans person be upfront, like immediately? Do you think that's fair?
No, that's nobody's business right away. No,
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
think
there's
so.
there's a lot of arguments saying that it's disclosed right away,
For what? For what's the point of it?
because they feel like they're being tricked or something like that, or they're getting into like something. They feel like I don't know if it's some like people thinking that by going to this person, they're like, oh my god, that made me like gay or something like that. I don't know if it has like an ego, like it attacks their ego
Why
or
are people
something, but
so
yeah,
scared to be gay? Like
I don't
maybe you
know.
are a little gay, if that's like
Hmm.
your fear. Like, come on.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah,
silly. No, people shouldn't have to say it right away. No, it's nobody's
yeah.
business. It's not my subject of expertise, but just like looking
Hmm.
at it from outside, not I mean, I feel like people are just they are just scared of what they don't know, so they don't really know how to act about it.
Hmm.
And so that they just spit nonsense like, yeah, you have to say it right away. Tell me your gender right away. Like, that's not how it works. And people should be able to say or feel or whatever they want to in the moment. And you don't owe a stranger that you don't owe them anything. And there's been a lot of incident with violence towards trans people. So yeah, no, don't say it. But
Yeah.
no, I mean,
Speaking, I want to answer this from my own perspective as a trans person.
mhm.
Um, a lot of times, especially when it comes to guys, the element of safety is never really a concern.
It's never what you
So
cut them.
never really a concern. They don't really think about like someone's safety, for instance.
Hmm.
Um, so a lot of people, whenever they're not trans, they look at the trans person and say they owe them disclosure like right away, and then they don't actually think about the trans person's safety. Because like if I go into a bar or something like that, I am not going to be telling this person right away that I am trans, because one, I don't know if they have like a horrible hatred towards trans people. I don't know if they're going to attack me. I don't know what's going on. So for me personally, my choice is to call them or text them after the fact when I've left the scene and talk to them. And if they're okay with it, then they're okay with it. But if they're not okay with it, guess what? It was like one time that we saw each other.
I mean, it was like 20 minutes, an hour of your
Hmm.
life. Get over it. Like,
Hmm.
and like, it's, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say we have someone that goes into a bar, okay, and let's say it's a trans woman, and they get approached by some guy that's very interested in them. They are very attracted. When do you think this trans person would necessarily should disclose whenever they're trans? Do you think it should be like right away? Should they wait a little bit? Should it be never? What are your thoughts?
I think it's whatever the person's comfortable with, honestly. I mean, you're just meeting a stranger, so you don't know that person, so you don't have to tell them your whole story. Like, it's not like, hey, I just met you just now. This is like, why? It's not anybody's business. Then maybe if you start being more personal with them, yes, for sure. Or like sexual with them, yes, you should, I think. But like right away, no, I don't think you should, unless you want to. But it's you told me that last time. It's not something that's always safe to do. People act weird about it. So personal to you, honestly. People should do whatever
Okay.
they want to do.
So one of the common things for disclosure when it comes to trans people that comes up, especially in the LGBT community, just in that own community, would be for like trans women trying to say that they are lesbian and trying to get with biological women. And there's always like this fight about like if a lesbian is not attracted to them or refuses to date them because they are trans, because maybe they're not into that because sometimes they have like a sexual preference with like sexual parts. um, would you consider that transphobic, or what are your thoughts on that?
No, I think transphobic would be more like judging somebody and just spitting hate at them and just I feel it's just like somebody that is straight wouldn't go with a man, or somebody that's gay wouldn't go with a woman's. I mean, a
Mhm.
man, gay man wouldn't go with a woman. I don't think that's homophobic. I think that's just sexual preference. I think it's just the way you go at it, the way you talk about it. And you know, if you just, to me, hate is a big part of transphobic. It's not your sexual orientation. It's just how you go at it, how you talk about it, how people, that's what transphobic is for me. I don't know. Oh, let me pick up my dog. She's crying to me. My dog is Ella.
That's a cute dog, by the way.
Thank you.
So adorable.
Thank you. She has a little diaper, not because she has incontinence, but because this is not her
Hmm.
house. And there's another dog, and there's been other dog in the past. And
Hmm.
she is crazy. She thinks she's the boss, and she will pee anywhere just to show that she's the boss.
So another thing is disclosure with medical professionals. I've encountered people who argue the fact that they don't have to disclose ever, even when it comes to medical people.
Wow, okay. Okay, so there's one thing. You should be honest with your lawyer and your doctor. You should tell them everything. That's it. Anybody else, you don't have to tell them anything. But your doctor, your lawyer, come on. You paid them for that. That's you have to be honest, and it's confidential when you talk to them.
Yeah.
They can't tell anybody else your business. That's stupid. Sorry.
Yeah, I know whenever I got into these arguments with people when it comes to like the medical disclosure, I win every single time. Mainly, what I argue is that like, hey, you're going to the doctor for usually for let's say like an issue, okay?
Yeah.
You need to give them all the possible information so that they can make the best treatment for you. So, and there's also different treatments depending on if you're biologically male or
Hmm.
biologically female. And you can't just be like, hey, I'm now female, even though you're born male. That's not how it works.
And then you're getting the wrong treatment. That's horrible. That's
Yeah.
dumb. You know what? Let them. You know what?
Hmm.
It's like when people are like, I mean, that's another subject, but it's like people drink. I don't know what's your opinion about that. People drinking raw milk now. That's a big thing, right?
Raw milk,
Yeah, that's a
like
fake.
straight from the cow,
Yeah, that's a
like
big.
not pasteurized, not processed
Yes,
at all. Kind of like the
yes,
Amish people.
yes. And now it's like all over TikTok, all over internet, how it's super healthy for you. And I was so pissed. I was like, this is disgusting, first of all. And we invented pasteurization, French person, by the way, for a reason. for your health. And now I'm so pissed at people. I'm like, you know what? Let them drink raw milk. I don't give a shit anymore. Let them. Let them get sick. So
Mhm.
it's the same thing. It's just like, let them. Let them not disclose their sexuality to their doctor. Let them get the treatment that they shouldn't get. That's just wild.
Yeah.
Because you're
Well,
risking
the
your.
problem is that you're going to have these people that are talking on the internet. And they're going to convince other people that's actually right, and they're like, yes, 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 and then they're going to be like, oh, demanding that we give disclosure and X circumstance, Y circumstance, whatever, is transphobic, and then they start. It just like spreads.
I
So
know.
yeah.
So, how do you think people should get knowledge about the trans community or just being a trans, because there's no information out there but on the internet.
Honestly, if you go on the internet, you're not going to find anything but these crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if you happen to befriend or know someone who is trans,
Yeah.
I would say just go befriend them and then ask them questions. So
Yeah.
I would not suggest that you go to someone and be like, "Are you trans?" just to
No.
ask them the questions. I would never ask someone to do that. But if you know someone who is like, "Hey," like openly trans or something like that in real life, not online, um, ask them questions.
So it's kind of like, it's not the same thing, but it's kind of like when
Hmm.
people don't know anything about African American or Hispanic, and like they're kind
Hmm.
of racist, and it's like because they've never met somebody that was.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Well, maybe you should talk to them and just try to talk and just try to see where you're standing and then get to know. It happened with my dad, like where I grew up, Montreal. I'm French Canadian. His generation was mostly white. Um, the problem that they had, it was French versus English. It wasn't like a color thing. But me, his daughter, I went to a school where there was a lot of Arabic people, because they were from Morocco, Algeria, Lebanese, because those countries got colonized by France a while back. So they speak French, and they immigrated in Quebec. So I had a lot of friends that were Arab or Black, um, and my dad was he was like, who are these people that you're talking to? I was like, these people are in my high school. I'm doing homework with them. And so years later, he called me and he's like, oh, we just got a new, he said that in French, a new Black neighbor. He's so nice. I was like, oh my God, you finally met a grown adult that is Black. I'm so proud of you. But it's true. It's like you have to talk people to people, because online Discord it's so, I mean, it's so negative, and people would just spit
Mhm.
nonsense just to get a reaction. It's just.
Yeah. But before you met me, did you know any trans people in person?
uh mm, I don't think so. Oh, I knew, back in Montreal I had gay friends that would dress feminine, but they weren't trans. No.
Yeah, that's not the
No,
same.
it's not.
So
Sorry.
yeah, so based on your experience with me and experience with what you see online, how different are things?
Oh, it's so different. Like because we met when we played Battlefront long time ago when the game was hot, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think of you as a trans person. You were just Cassie. You were just my girlfriend, and so um, like in my head I wasn't like, oh, this is my trans like. And then I met you in real life, and I was like, oh, okay, but it didn't really make. But I'm kind of different. Like I feel like I've never had um I never looked at the trans community and was like, I was always like, oh,
Yeah.
nice. Like I've always been like
Mm-hmm.
that since I was a kid. But yeah, no, I mean, but I'm very lucky to have you as a friend. How about
Oh, I'm so glad to have your friendship as well.
Yes. It's been so long. How long we been friends?
Oh,
10
geez.
years?
I think 10 years
I
later
think
this
so.
year.
I think
Yeah,
so.
'cause
We met
yeah.
when I was in my prime at 31. Oh, I was little baby V. And I always gotta remember we went to restaurant here in Scottsdale, Flower Child.
I forgot the name of it, but I remember that
I
day.
remember
Yeah.
it was like a healthy
Mhm.
place, I think, with like
Mhm.
it was
Yeah, I actually
fun.
found something to eat. Yeah.
It was so fun,
It's actually a good idea. I never considered that.
right? I know, I'm
Yeah.
so smart. Eee.
Yeah, you very smart.
It's Ella. She gave me the
Oh.
idea.
Yeah. The next topic is going to be about, once again, about dating. And if a biological male dates a trans woman, um, is that a straight relationship or a gay relationship or a little bit of both? Or how would you go about defining this, or how should they define it?
As they should define it how they want to define it. Now, how the world will see it might be different. I would think most people would see it as a gay relationship, but how you present it, I mean, it depends. It's so complicated. And does it matter?
Very complicated.
Does it really matter? I mean, the relationship is between two-person or three or four and whatever, but it's personal to them, and how they want to talk about it is personal to them. It depends how the trends, the I mean, I don't know what they went through, their operation. I mean, who knows? That's a personal thing. They don't have to talk about it to the rest of us. Um, but I don't know. What I've heard is most people, men, especially men, think that it's gay. But now, if you have the full body surgeries, is it gay? I don't know. What do you think?
It's always really challenging. I think that no matter how you pan it out, no pun intended. Um, sorry, pansexual joke. All right, I think no matter how you look at it, there you got to admit that there's a little itsy bitsy part of gayness in it, because a person was biologically male, they're not actually like 100% female.
Hmm.
Um, I definitely think that if someone's had, like, let's say, like a trans woman's had bottom surgery, it definitely would go more into the realm of like a straight relationship. But you still can't deny that there's a little bit of gayness in there,
Yeah.
because the person is biologically male. However, I do believe that two people who love each other should define that relationship however they want. However, the rest of the world might see it differently, and if they do, then I think those two people should just be comfortable with themselves
Hmm.
and not really worry about what the world says, and but also not try to go around and tell everyone that, like, preach to everyone that the relationship is straight and everyone else has it wrong.
Yeah, because that feels a little defensive. It's like, okay, like, what do you have to prove? Like, it doesn't really matter. But
Hmm.
yeah, I agree with what you just said. But what do I
Yeah.
know? I don't go through what you're going through. Have you ever like had a relationship where the guy was like, yeah, no, I'm not gay. I only like women, and then like being with you?
It's funny you say that. I actually got done talking to a guy that I met here in the city that I am currently on last late last year, and he didn't know I was trans when he asked for my information. So when I told him that I was trans, he said that I tricked him, and he said that I'm the only one ever. And then I got talking to him, and apparently he was so intrigued that he wanted to get in a relationship with me, and kind of like do a fling. And a fling's not really my thing. But he actually told me, like, yeah, I'm not gay. So
But he still wanted to do something.
yes.
Well, that's just
But
denial.
he did say in order to do anything like sexual or anything that he wanted me to get bottom surgery, make sure I had bottom surgery first. But I didn't tell him whether or not I had it or not. It's not his business. So,
Wow.
so,
Oh, that's
but
the
he
guy
was
for.
very persistent.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
yeah, he might be a little bit in denial, huh?
who knows? I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe you should
No.
find out. And let me know. I'm like living through you. I'm curious.
He's probably going to see this video.
Oh, well, he nobody knows who he is.
No, I didn't
I don't
identify him, but
know.
he knows who he is. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Who's
What are your thoughts on Lily Tino?
that?
Lily Tino, the one you said, and the going in the bathroom with like the black lipstick that the little girl
Oh
was
God.
looking at her,
I'm
looking at the
sorry.
person's.
She's gonna see what I'm saying if she watched the video, if she does. I mean, do what you want, honey, but the reaction you're getting, like they're using all her clips for like the problem that she doesn't understand is that everything she's doing, no matter her intention, maybe she's like, I just want to help the trans community, which I doubt. I think she just wants to have reactional videos, but they're used like all the medias that she doesn't like, they're using her videos for their propaganda. They're using that shit and they're like, yeah, see, they're the problem. See, they're all like that. When it's like they're not. They're not all like her. She's like a 1% of the trans community. And they're using whatever she's doing, all the clips she's putting online, they're using it for fear mongering to scare people that are transphobic. That's what they're doing. And I see it. I've seen it. So I think she's a problem. Yes, I do. I don't care. She just pissed me off
Yeah.
because you can tell. And like the number of time I've seen her videos stitched on TikTok by people that are already transphobic, or even people that are not transphobic, by gays, by openly gay people that are like, what the fuck is that? Like she goes in restaurant, she doesn't know people, they don't know her. She kind of dressed halfway sometimes, so it's kind of confusing to start with. And she should do whatever she wants. And then she gets mad when they don't use the pronouns she want them to use. And it's like, they just met you like 2 seconds ago. They probably either forgot or they don't know, or and it's she just wants the reaction. And it's just annoying. It's annoying for you guys. Like I would be so annoyed if I was trans. I would be like, who is that? Well,
Lil, Lily Tino pisses me off like no other because, like you said already, they're using that person to make all this propaganda, make the whole community look like clowns and look horrible and stuff like that. So
she's just I hope she's getting you know what? I hope she's getting paid by them. I hope she's getting her money, her bag, because girl, like they're making money with you. Like Fox News is using all of her videos for propaganda and to scare people. They're using her. I hope she's making money at least. Do you think they're paying her?
I don't think that Lily Tina would be doing this if there wasn't money involved.
Ah.
What would be? We all know if whenever you go on the internet and you watch these videos, we all know that controversy sells. Okay, and you got to admit that Lily Tina is very controversial, so it gets a lot of views, a lot of attention, and good attention and bad attention are still attention.
Yeah, see, it pisses me off. Like, I have no reason to be pissed. I'm pissed off. It's working. Bravo, Lily. Bravo. It's working. But, I mean, who knows how she is in real life? Maybe she's adorable person, whatever. But, like, her videos are they're just made to make, like you just said, to make people angry and get views. What's the name for that? There's a name for videos that make people angry.
You talking about like clout or something?
Yeah, but it's something else too. I'll think about it. I'll come back to it. She's doing it for
Okay,
the clout. Mhm.
this is for Lily Tino.
Oh, ew, she does. Ew! She just
What?
ruined it for me. I do that all the time. I'm like,
Sorry. Oh. What about? Thank you so much, Fee, for joining me today. It's nice to have you here. I hope that you will come back
I
again.
hope so. We should do more of these. I
Of
love it.
course.
It's fun. It brings me back into the streaming era.
And for everyone watching, thank you so much. And be sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought about this video. And I'll see you next time. All right.
See
Goodbye.
you. Bye. Thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe to Cassie. Make sure that you comment. Make sure you like. Everything helps. Help a sister out.